All right, so welcome back, my beautiful people. The Caribbean is entering a very dark period right now. The news that we are just hearing, okay, Marco Rubio is making calls, okay, he's calling for the recolonization of Africa and the Caribbean in particular, and even the Asian Pacific as well. But Africa and the Caribbean, he has made a very disgusting, I don't know how to call it, but it is disgusting. All right, there is no other word to put to label it as, but it is a disgusting statement in calling for the recolonization of Africa and the Caribbean. And this was the same person. Marco Rubio was the same individual who said, which he is rightly correct, to some extent, that the world has changed and the old world order no longer exists. But these are the very same people that wants to implement old world order policies. All right, the recalling for the recolonization of Africa and the Caribbean is old world order policies, Monroe Doctrine, whatever, all of these things we are seeing taking place. And it only speaks to the hypocrisy of the United States of America. They are the ones who always say that they are justifying their actions because of violation of human rights. All right. But isn't it a violation of human rights? For example, a country like Cuba, who has been sanctioned for all these years, they had suffered enough, and yet Marco Rubio and Trump and his administration continues to suffocate, stifle the little oxygen, the little breath that is in Cuba. Cuba right now is fighting for their life. They are fighting to breathe. They are telling Trump, America, we cannot breathe, but we continue to see that America continue to choke the life out of Cuba. Now, guys, this is a very dark period we are in right now. As I say, Marco Rubio, I will go straight into the report. He's calling for the recolonization of Africa and the Caribbean, and he's urging Europe to help them in rebuilding the empire. Now, Secretary of State Rubio delivered a most, as I said, disgusting. It's a very disgusting speech at the Munich Security Conference that revived the language of empire and glorified white supremacist domination as a civilizational mission. He framed centuries of expansion and control through forced missionaries, pilgrims, and religious conversions as a proud legacy to be renewed, and called for white nations to be grounded in power, pride, and strategic cohesion. That is why some of us, we need to relearn. We need to reform our spiritual beliefs. He said Western authority as a force needs to be reasserted across Africa, Asia Pacific, and the Caribbean. Now, I am sure you will know, brothers and sisters, colonial rule imposed direct control over Africa's vast resources, drained India through economic extraction, and forced entire populations into submission under imperial command. European powers divided African territories for resources, and they exploited those resources and governed through coercion and suppression. India endured political domination and economic restructuring designed to enrich imperial centers. Caribbean societies developed under plantation economies built on slavery and external control, shaping a regional memory rooted in resistance, survival, and eventual self-determination. Now, Rubio's rhetoric advances a revival of that imperial worldview and urges renewed Western control through military strength and cultural alignment. So if you do not want to adhere, basically, if you do not want to adhere to our commands, you don't choose a side, you don't pick a side, or you don't, in other words, if you don't come on our side, we're going to beat you into submission. We're going to apply military force over you. This posture elevates hierarchy and dominance as guiding principles for global order and seeks to place a vast regions under renewed strategic influence. Such language signals a deliberate reassertion of imperial ambition in modern geopolitical discourse. And guys, you know, as we all know, Trump and his administration has gotten what they want out of Venezuela. And we, you know, have you noticed this, that the bombings, the drug boat strikes, they have all stopped? Okay? Why the drug hunt, the hunt for drugs or drug traffickers, why it's not continuing? Why all of a sudden it have stopped? It only goes to show, guys, we in the Caribbean are entering into a dark period. We have been lied to, we have been deceived, we have been manipulated in believing that this was all about drug trafficking and all of this sort. It was all about reassertion of dominance, imperial control. It was all about, you know, controlling us. And now they are coming out clear. They are coming out bold. They are not hiding there what they want to do. Now they are saying, the imperial powers are saying, we will recolonize your region. You will be under our control. The Caribbean, Africa, and other parts of the world that they deem important for the global dominance. Brothers and sisters, as a people, as black people, okay, that are in the Caribbean, in Africa, and other parts of the world, we are now at a junction, all right? We are at a junction where we need to make a choice. We either stand up and we push back against this, we fight with one voice in unity, so that what have happened to our ancestors will not happen to us, or we submit. And unfortunately, if we do submit, it's sad to say, you know, what have happened to our ancestors will eventually happen to us, and worse. It will be worse. And it's also unfortunate that there are black people, black brothers and sisters, who prefer to stay in Egypt and eat onions and cucumbers. You know, they don't want to go over to the promised land of milk and honey. They prefer, you know, some people say we prefer imperial powers to rule over us. You know, we prefer to be reliant. We prefer to be dependent. We prefer to be controlled. There are people in the Caribbean, right here in this Caribbean region, black people, who decides or who wants this to continue. But for those of you who wants to be free, we need to come together in a time like this, because the new imperial masters, well, not really new, it is the same. It is the same Europeans. All they did was take a boat and travel to America. But these are the same people now. The same people. All right? The descendants of the people who enslave our people. They are looking to enslave us as well, in a different way, in a different form. They want to recolonize us. They want us to they see themselves superior over us, and we should always be under their feet. Well, guys, thank you so much. Let me know what are your thoughts in the comment section below. Until then, God bless.